Hey gang, this is Vicki Kelly with the Golden Rule Trades, and I wanted to share with you this weekend what really made the difference for me in becoming profitable. There were two keys to my profitability. And I know that you might think that it is, oh, well, have this edge. And even though it took a lot of time to find it, and a lot of hours, a lot of dollars to learn the ingredients that go into the morning method, that was a small part of me becoming a profitable trader. The two keys were actually different than that, and I wanted to share those with you today. The two keys in my profitability were mindset and discipline. Yes, I had an edge. Yes, I've spent a lot of time developing that edge, but it was when I changed my mindset and my discipline that it made all the difference in my P&L. First of all, for the mindset, I wanted to tell you, even though it went back almost 20 years ago, something that happened that made all the difference in the world today. I was sitting at my computer and I was working on my checkbook. We were starting a nonprofit, and I was trying to figure out how we could pare things out of our budget in order to be able to give more to the work that we were trying to do. And I had this impression. I call it God. You don't have to believe in God to figure out the story, but that's what I call God. And I believe I got this impression from God that said, why don't you ask for more instead of living on less? Now, I had just spent an hour trying to figure out how we could cut corners here and cut corners there in order to be able to give more to get the nonprofit started that we were working on. And that one change, that one flip has made all the difference in how I've experienced the last 2 decades of my life. Now, I'm not going to say that everything changed that day, but I can tell you that everything changed because of that day. I have looked at this completely differently for the last 20 years. Instead of thinking, oh, I've got to live on less and less and less in order to be able to give more and do more, I realized, no, I just have to ask for more and expect more rather than expecting to live on less. Now, there are other parts of my mindset that I've had to work on over the years, but it began here. And I saw the power of just changing one thing about your mindset. And I realized that that is something I'm going to have to develop the rest of my life and continue to develop in order to be the profitable trader that I want to be, and in order to be able to give and do the things that I want to be able to do. One of the people who have helped me with this is Mindy Kniss. Many of you know her. She has lucre.com, and I have taken multiple courses from her that have helped me to develop my mindset. And she currently has one out called The Alchemist. And I am so looking forward to this because we're just getting started in this journey, and we're going to continue to develop that mindset so that we can learn more and more about the things that hinder us and keep us from being profitable. Now, I don't know what it is for you. Maybe you come to the market with a victim mentality, and every time you get stopped out, you're like, oh, somebody did this to us, and they're just manipulating things, and I don't even know why I try. Or maybe you think, oh, I always get stopped out. So the first time you get stopped out, you just stop trading because it's like, well, see, there it happened again. If you have a mindset issue, you might as well just write out your check to the market and save a step, because that mindset is what's holding you back. Not your edge, not your indicators, not anything else. Your mindset is what's stopping you, and it's going to make all the difference when you figure out what shift needs to happen so that you can become more profitable. The second thing that made a difference in my profitability was my discipline. It changed everything. One of the books that I read that really helped with this was Mark Douglas's Trading in the Zone. I had read it years and years ago, and then Mindy suggested it again. And so I reread it a few months ago. And I was reminded again when he and Paula said, trade your setup 10 times without deviation. Now, since I do trader funding, it's really easy to get those cheap evaluation accounts. I mean, they're only $16 when you can get it on the best deal that they have. And so it's easy to just toss trades out there because, oh, well, if you mess it up, it's only 16 bucks. But when I began to say, I'm only going to take the next 10 trades in my setup only, I'm not going to deviate. I'm not going to put anything else out there. This alone was when I turned the corner to being consistently profitable. I had an edge. I was developing my mindset, but this was the final key in making the difference because it was what said, I'm not going to be undisciplined in how I approach this. I'm going to do this and this only. And that is why I was able to turn the corner to my profitability months ago. Now, I still had to put the work in. I still had the edge. I still had the charts that I had to learn. Still had all of that was a valuable part of this. But the mindset and the discipline were the two things that absolutely made the difference for me. My course is going to be coming available, and that will be on Tuesday, the 24th. I hope that you will watch the webinar, that you will see what it is that I offer in my course and in the live room, and decide for yourself if this would help you to walk alongside someone who has turned the corner to profitability, but also practices it every week in the live trading room. Now, I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I am saying that I get better every week because my mindset, I expect to get better every week, and my discipline, I practice to get better every week. I think you can find some value in that, and I hope that you'll examine it for yourself and decide to come on board with this starting on Tuesday. Keep an eye out in your email for the link, and I hope to see you there. And whether or not I do, stay safe and good luck trading.